Breaking news to start us off here on The Plus. Right now, crews battling a building fire. News Channel 5's Deja Knight is there, and they believe this fire at a state building is suspicious.
They do. They believe that this is arson, Steve. They say that because when they went inside to fight this fire, there were definitely signs of accelerants that were used throughout the building. You can see here they've already got the crime scene tape up, treating this as an arson. If you'll take a look over here, firefighters, they're still removing some of filing cabinets that are on fire. There's computer equipment inside, plenty of documents, all burned up this morning. Firefighters believe that whoever started this fire started it around this area of the building, but they quickly worked their way through because all the way on the inside it is burned up. So you can see fire investigators right out here in the front talking, trying to figure out what to do next, how they can figure out who did this and why they did this. Take a look at this video from earlier. You can see this is right off of Dickerson Pike. So a lot of fire engines were up this way on this alleyway. Even part of Dickerson Pike was closed down for a while as they fought this fire. It started at 4. They finally got it out about 5:30 this morning. So we're told about 35 to 40 people actually work in this building. Some of the employees have actually shown up right now only to be stopped by this yellow crime scene tape. So of course we're going to stay on top of this, try and figure out exactly what happened, and keep in touch with the fire marshals as well. And as soon as they get an idea of who could have done this, of course we will pass that along to you. We're live in East Nashville. Deja Knight, News Channel 5 HD.
Deja, thank you. And we continue to follow breaking news out of North Nashville. Right now, police searching for at least 3 robbery suspects. News Channel 5's Cuthbert Langley is there live. And how the victim and the suspect, they were all involved in a car chase, right, Cuthbert?
Amy, that's what police are telling us. Pretty crazy situation. Around 1:30 this morning, about 3 or 4 men came up to the Pizza Express and Hero place, which is on Jefferson Street, about a half a mile away from where we are. Not only did they rob an employee sitting in his car in the parking lot, they then went inside of that restaurant and demanded cash from them. Now, as those suspects were leaving, the victim sitting in his car in the parking lot, followed them, started chasing them in his car, coming all the way down to this neighborhood here. You're looking at the video. You can see police, once those suspects ran out of the car, actually had to use dogs to try to search for those suspects. Much of this area was blocked off for much of the morning, and that's because the suspects, according to police, actually hung out of their windows and shot at the victim and his car multiple times. So the crime scene kind of spread around a couple of blocks here. Thankfully, there were no injuries to report this morning, which is amazing, just given we were told there were about 3 or 5 shots fired. So again, it's very lucky that the victim was not hurt this morning. Police say the hardest part now is trying to get a description of those suspects because there was no surveillance video in that restaurant.
3 or 4 suspects. We don't have a really good description at this time. They were all wearing hooded sweatshirts, and they had the sweatshirts cinched closed so they're over their faces, so we couldn't see their faces.
So again, much more work left ahead for police this morning as they continue to search for those suspects and try to identify who they were. Now, police are saying if you do live in this neighborhood, don't be worried. They are actively looking, and it is not considered to be a dangerous situation at this point. Of course, we'll be updating you throughout the day, both on air and online. But for now, reporting live in North Nashville this morning, Cuthbert Langley, News Channel 5 HD.
All right, Cuthbert, thank you. And happening right now, a gunman remains on the loose after parents get involved in a fight between children. And now one parent is recovering from a gunshot wound. Another one is on the run. The shooting happened around 6:30 at DuPont Avenue Apartments at the victim's home. Police say the kids apparently had gotten into a fight. Well, they didn't get it sorted out. The parents got involved. The victim is now recovering at Skyline Medical Center with serious injuries. Police have not released any names of those involved just yet.
And in Clarksville, a woman stabbed her boyfriend while he used their son as a shield. The Leaf Chronicle reports 21-year-old Mattia Petty told police she threatened her boyfriend with a knife during an argument yesterday. He allegedly grabbed their son and said, "You won't harm him, will you?" Police say she stabbed him anyway. She was arrested and charged with aggravated assault. And police are investigating a gruesome incident after a man says his girlfriend stabbed him below the belt. Kentucky New Era reports that the man called police saying his girlfriend had stabbed him in his private area. No arrests have been reported. He was hospitalized, but is expected to be okay. Some troubling testimony yesterday in the Holly Bobo murder case. A witness testified she saw a video that could change everything in this case.
I seen a woman that was tied up that was crying.
All right, now let's talk about that. Did you recognize the woman?
She was blonde. Yes, it looked like Holly Bobo.
Sandra King is the state's key witness in the case against Jeff Piercy and his half-brother Mark. She said Jeff Piercy showed her that video on a phone back in May. The TBI then played a recording of a phone conversation between the two in which she asked him a question about the video showing Holly. But Piercy says there is no video and thought she was referring to his ex-wife named Holly. The judge ruled there was enough probable cause for the case to move forward.
An update now this morning on how the survivors of that deadly crash that claimed more than half their family are recuperating. It was about a month ago. A semi-truck crossed over the median along I-40 in Hickman County. It killed William, Claire, Shelburne, and Laura Shelburne. Terry and his youngest son survived. They say they are very thankful for the outpouring of support, prayers, and cards they've received during the month-long recovery in Nashville, many coming from complete strangers. Terry has not been able to go back to work, and they're facing a ton of medical bills. A fund has been set up to help the family. We have the information on newschannel5.com.